Record to the cloud. Okay. Evening, everyone. Thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. It's good to see all of your faces. So what I'm going to do first is just go over some of the notes. Every Monday, we have a mastermind call that we do with Sean and Michelle. They do it with their Pro 5s and above. And I'm just going to go through some of the notes and the things we talked about. First of all, we know that the Vitality Stack this month, people basically get to try the Omega for free. That's what I've been telling people. So rather than it being $149, it's $120, same as their activated essentials, and they get free shipping. Now, one of the reasons the company has done that in January is to transition our customers, hopefully, that are using activated essentials into trying the Omega and the Vitality Stack, because they are taking away the free shipping with the Essentials Pack. I know it's a bummer, stinkeroo. Yeah, but it all has to do with the shareholders, the board of directors, blah, blah, blah. So probably shouldn't have been done in the first place, but it all comes down to revenue. And if they have free shipping on both of those stacks, then it's going to affect the income earnings with the company. So it is what it is. You want to make sure that you look in your back office and you check your customer list and see who is on the Essentials Pack, because we don't want this to be a surprise for them. We don't want them to suddenly be charged $7 to $10 more for shipping. So make sure that you give them a phone call and just let them know. And Sean had suggested maybe mentioning, as our company's growing, we're working hard to make everything else right. The company's improving and shifting, so free shipping will now be with our Vitality Stack and not the Essentials Pack. So, you know, it's going to be a couple coffees that they'll be paying for shipping, right? And if you know the person well, just be heartfelt with it, but make sure that you give them a heads up on that. Also, LifeVantage Academy, the one that happens this month. At LifeVantage Academy, there is going to be something. Sean said the word cyber launch. Michelle told him he probably shouldn't say anything, but I don't even know if they really know what it is, but there's just word on the street that at LifeVantage Academy, they're going to launch something that will incentivize people even more so to get to Indianapolis, which is a great thing, right? 'Cause we want everyone there. Also, LifeVantage Academy will be changing. So for a lot of people on this call, we have LifeVantage Academy as it's always been this month. Then we have Elite Academy in February. And then beginning March, locations are going to change. So you just want to be sure that you know where you should be going. For those of us in Idaho, we will be going to Twin Falls. Yeah, Twin Falls. And get this, this month in January, Sean Poe is in Twin Falls, while Maria is here in Boise. So I couldn't get an explanation. I tried to dig. All I know is that Marcel Niederhauser has people in Twin Falls, and Sherry Hollenbeck has people in Twin Falls. How they're going to have an academy with 60 people when we're all over here, I don't know. But that's okay. At least we don't have to drive to Salt Lake City, so it is what it is. And that starts in March. So just be aware, and it'll make for great drive time, right? We carpool together and kumbaya. Okay.
So in March, we're going to Twin Falls.
Yes.
Not because of numbers or whatever, just because of...
Just because they decided to change it up.
Huh. Well, that'll be
fun. That'll be fun.
So what happens if our numbers go over 100? Will they bring it back to us, or we don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
At this point, I kind of doubt it, but I don't know.
Okay.
Also, Sean and Michelle are going to Salt Lake City this weekend, and they're going for the Field Advisory Board. So they will have meetings with corporate Field Advisory Board, which are 8s and 9s. It's a lot of 8s, I think. And then they'll have like some little gathering for them. But The post said, if there's anything that you want to have them bring to the table when they go, Michelle, she's all about advocating for that. So one of the things they brought up, for instance, was the loyalty program. It's kind of been tough for customers to understand. I know a lot of my customers that are on it, like white on rice, like they don't like it when their points don't sync. I have one gal who doesn't have any points that have shown up. So they just want it to be a little more cohesive, and maybe even get to the point where when people have so many points, they get an email from corporate saying, you have so many dollars earned in points that you can use to incentivize our customers to use other products. So I thought that was a great thing. Also, if you have distributors or even customers that have been out for quite a while, let's say at distributors especially, if you have team members that have not been working and maybe it's past that 6-month mark and you'd love to just give them a call and check in with them, because most of them may think that there's no way I can come back in. I'm gonna have to buy a new pack. There are ways that the company they're kind of approving like everything right now. So if a new distributor wants to come back in, they're allowing a lot of them to come in and just reignite their distributorship by placing a $100 order. So that's a cool thing. And then Sarah Scott had mentioned that they had a customer that had not ordered for quite some time. And I think Rich called and spoke to them, and that customer called customer support and they gave them a box of Axio for $25. That old customer. So it's worth looking at, right? Worth looking at in your back office, old customers, old distributors, giving them a call and just maybe sending them a new video, telling them about the challenge going on, and then just seeing what corporate could do to incentivize them to come back in. I think it's totally worth it. Also, Pro 3 Frenzy, Doris, Adam, Chris, and Grace. Okay. So make sure you're on that, because we want you to qualify again this month to get the check in Indy. Okay, awesome. Okay, and then the last thing is goals. Okay, so we've heard a lot about goals for the year. And something really humiliating happened to me, and it was with my own daughter. So I got a new desk for my office. I got an $80 desk on Facebook Marketplace, and it's like, now I feel like I got to paint my whole office. My husband's not impressed. Anyway, she comes in my office and sees all my stuff laying around, and she sees this board that I made. It's a rocket ship, okay? And this rocket ship is like, it keeps the kids on track, and they get to color it in as we move along. So when we would hit Pro 1, they'd get a percentage of 1,000. So they got $1, right? Is that 10%? And then when we hit 2,500, they got $2.50 each. When we hit Pro 3, they got $5 each. When we hit Pro 4, $10 each. And then, so we were sharing this with them when we made it. And going along, we're like, so when we hit Pro 7, what are you going to get? And they're like, $100. So I have never had them cheering me on so much, right? And trying to get to Pro 7 and coloring in and seeing where I was at. Because as I got bigger, like, you make the marks a little smaller so they see the progression. So then I hit 7 here, right? And now they know at Pro 8, they're each going to get $200. So Savvy is looking at this board and she's like, Mom, she goes, where are you at Pro 8? And I'm like, I'm not that close yet. She's like, well, why not? She goes, you made this 2 years ago. Right? That sucked. She's like, oh, you're still in the same place. You made that 2 years ago. It's like, put the board away, kid. That's not fun. Right? I don't like that. And I don't want that to happen this year. And I don't know if you're on the Sunday night call where they had a lot of the elites come on, but I don't want the same story this year. I just don't. I think because LifeVantage can make your business so lucrative, right? Because an extra 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 in someone's life can change their world so much and make it so much more comfortable. It's easy to rest in that comfortable state. And then you don't progress on. And then we're just holding ourselves back, right? And I have had my vision board from last year, and that was also there. So my vision board from last year, some of us went to this training, and it was a vision board training that I attended in Salt Lake City. And the concepts that he talks about in creating a vision board makes so much sense to me. He talks about having 9 things on your vision board, just 9. And not going over that, maybe having less than that. And the things that you want, associating a picture of you doing that or achieving that as much as you possibly can. And then when you have that vision board, it's not an art project. It is something that you look at and you give time to every single day, because this is what he says. When you initially create this vision board, and here's what I've learned too, you guys, is when you create that vision board, create it with the intent in mind that it's going to take a much bigger power than just me to get these done, right? I'm going to need God on my side to accomplish these. I want you to think that big. That was my problem for a long time. I just was thinking too small. I want you to think big. And he said in the beginning, when you look at this vision board, you're going to walk away and your subconscious mind is going to tell you, you can't have those things. But if you give it time every day, and he would give it time, and sometimes he said he would sit in front of it for 20 to 30 minutes looking at these things, and he would create a story. Like when I'm there, when I'm fishing and I catch that fish and its weight and how I'm going to feel, and when the water hits me, like he knew exactly how it was going to feel. And when he would accomplish things, he would take it and put it into a binder. And then he shows us this binder of all these things that he has manifested into his life because of his vision boards. All of them. He mentors billionaires. He mentors millionaires. And when there is an issue happening in their company and things aren't going wrong, the first thing he asks them is, do you have a vision board? It's the first thing he says. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, people think it's a cheesy, crafty project, that it's not real, but it is so real. So I found my vision board from last year, and the one I had the year prior to that is in here too. And most of that I manifested. Getting a new home, taking the girls to Disney. Like, I knew that I wanted those things. I worked hard and I put in action to achieve those things. The things that were on my board last year, I'm not going to change. I don't need to change it for this year, sadly. Like, I still want those 9 things that are on my board from last year. This is what it looks like. I want to make that $10,000 check, right? There's some of the stuff. Okay. So anyway, that's my vision board for this year. And I will have it out, not sitting in the corner of my office. Now, the other thing that I've learned, I bought a business tracker. I just found an entrepreneur online. I found her about a year ago. She's a Christian entrepreneur. She just leads with, she calls it her holy hustle. And I love what she teaches. And she created a business tracker, and it's a big book, right? So I bought this business tracker, and in it, she wants you to write down your quarterly goals, not just what you want to transpire for the year, but quarterly, just condensing it, right? And then she asks too, what were some things, if you look at the month prior, what were some things that worked well for you? And this is where I think we go back to social media, you guys, because what worked well for me last month was reaching out to people that I knew were active on my personal page, liking things, and I knew they were watching me. And when I reached out to them and asked them to take a look at what I had, it was not hard, because they knew what I represented and they trusted me. And they became very big customers. Like, at least all of them got on Activated Essentials. I mean, it just became very easy. And most of them then bought the flash sales that we had. So just please continue to be very intentional. Make that a part of your business plan, because in this business tracker, she also talks about, she wants you to have your, what does she call them? Your daily, your no matter what's. So you have daily no matter what's and weekly no matter what's. That no matter what, those are things you will get done during the day. Whether it's checking your back office, reading your Bible, reading a book, contacting 5 people, making a post on Facebook, whatever it is that you think is needed and intentional for your business, no matter what, you will do that on a weekly or daily basis, whatever works best for you. And here's another analogy that I thought of too. So me talking about like being in the same place, not wanting to be in the same place, like writing a new chapter for this year. So I had knee surgery early last year. And after I had it, I didn't go back to CrossFit, and I started just working out at Axiom. And when I go to Axiom, like it's just very comfortable. Like I'm not getting a ton done. I need somebody to tell me what to do. I need someone to kick my butt. And it makes me be in a very comfortable state, actually. And when I'm comfortable, though, at Axiom, I'm not getting to where I physically want to be. Like I know that I have more in me, yet I just keep going back to Axiom, right? So then I decide I'm going to go try a free class at Orange Theory. I go to Orange Theory, kick tail, right? Because they tell you, here's your goals, or here's where you want to be, and here's what you want to do. And I'm like, I want that. Like, I want to be in that zone. And I was, and I felt so good afterwards. And the next day I was like, this is amazing. I don't hurt that much. So then I went and did yoga, got uncomfortable again. And then day 2 came, and every time I sat down and then tried to get back up, it was a hassle. Like I was so sore. So sore. I could barely walk. I was so sore. But what will I get from being that sore? I don't get that sore at Axiom. But when I get that sore at Orange Theory, and if I keep going back, what's going to happen? I'm going to get where I want to be physically. I just have to keep doing it and being consistent with it. And it's something that is harder than what I was doing before. And it's the same thing with this new year. Like, I just don't want any of us on this call to be the talk is cheap person. Like, I want us to finally do on this call. I want this call filled with new people, new blood, new energy, people that cannot wait to change their life, right? I made more calls today than I have in such a long time because I'm putting pen to paper more than I ever have before. And part of it's because of this business tracker. It is giving me guidelines. It's telling me what to do. It's telling me what to look for. When I wrote my goals down for the first quarter, like they're on my whiteboard behind me. They're in my notebook. They're in my calendar. I know exactly what I want, and they're ingrained in me. Every day I think about those. And I know that if I'm going to have those happen, like it's going to take a lot of work, So the minute I feel like I'm not doing what I should be doing, I'm going to get restless, right? And it's not going to happen. And I'm just tired of it not happening. So I just would say to you guys, put the pen to paper and really think big. Don't think about a goal that could be a given, a goal that you know you could achieve. No, that's not worth it. That's not why you're here. Like, think about a goal where it's going to take prayer every single day. It's going to take an act of God to help you get it. Think about that. And then when you have it on that vision board and you look at it every day, here's what happens. Like if so I want new hardwood floors in my home. So if I know that I want new hardwood floors and I can see them in my home and I know what it's going to look like and how it'll feel and how the dog will probably slide around everywhere when I have them. And so I'm going to need a rug, blah, blah, blah. Like when I'm out and I hear someone say hardwood or they install, like that's going to grab my attention. And I'm going to be more aware of my surroundings, and it will lead me to the necessary people to get the connections I need to have that change done in my home. Makes sense? It's just like if you want to take singing lessons or guitar lessons, maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe you want to go on a date night, you know, at least once a month with your spouse, whatever. But a date night with your spouse once a month, like that can be a given, right? That can happen. Just think of something bigger. But if you only just put it down and then tuck it away and it doesn't become a part of you, how are you going to manifest it? It has to become a part of you. So here's something I have to share with you guys. Chris and Doris saw this, but man, you got to watch it. Screen share. I have a video I want to show you. And this guy is so funny. But I think you'll get what I mean by showing you this. Chris and Doris, you remember this? Did you see this? Am I frozen? Okay.
He knows about playing with dominoes, but what you may not know is that a domino can knock over another domino, which is about 1.5 times larger. So what I have here is a chain of dominoes. Each one is 1.5 times larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes. And the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than 1 meter tall. Ready? Boom. That was 13 dominoes. If I had 29 dominoes, the last domino would be as tall as the Empire State Building.
Don't you love that? I just love how he's like, boom. I think that's so funny. So the reason I wanted to share that with you guys is not to talk about physics, but the momentum that we usually feel probably like that little tiny domino, right, at times in our business, especially if you had a year of 2017 where you didn't move and progress in the way that you wanted. You're feeling small. You're wondering if you can do it. You're wondering if it's worth it. But then that little domino has enough power in it, though, to then knock over that bigger domino. And then before you know it, you're at the Empire State Building, right? Because of the momentum that it caused. So not everybody's going to say yes to us, but if you just stay consistent and believe, like we can have that same momentum. Think of that. You could be that little domino that shares, and then somebody shares, and then somebody shares, and then somebody shares, and before you know it, you've got this big whale that came into your business, and they don't need anybody's help because they just want to grow, grow, grow. Carrie Dickey had that with Rachel Jackson, right? That was what? How many years later? 6, 7, 8 years later that Rachel Jackson came in. So there's so much that can come from this if we just take the necessary action. Don't just make it a project. And I also just really want to reiterate to you guys, I don't know if it got duplicated because I know Michelle feels like she has to do it too, but you know, sending out those reminders all the time of hour till Team Zoom, half hour till Team Zoom, 15 minutes till Team Zoom. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to think about having to remind people to get on a Zoom. Because honestly, this is your business. And if you're going to treat this like a business, then you should just have it in your calendar. Like those should be your weekly no matter what. No matter what, I get on the Team Zoom. No matter what, I listen to the replay of Carrie. No matter what, I watch the opportunity presentation on Thursday night or listen to it. You know what I mean? Those should be your no matter what. What you want from this business is to have it completely change your life. Think about it if you had a boss and this was a full-time job. That's what they're going to expect from you. No matter what, in the month of January, you should go to LifeVantage Academy. No matter what, in the month of February, you should be going to Indianapolis. It should just be on your calendar. And she even has that in the tracker too. You put down dates for that month, and these are like deadlines. By this month, I will have manifested and done this. By this month, I will have done this. And for those of you that have, we've got Maria Williams coming on Friday the 19th. Right now, set a goal for the number of people that you are going to invite to get in front of Maria Williams, because you always know if you don't show up with more people, the minute you leave without them, you're kicking yourself because you didn't have more people there, right? Let's blow her away. I think everywhere, again, you guys, you see what happened in Carrie Williams' home. I don't know if you saw it. Michelle posted on One Person Big Difference. Carrie Williams had about 100 people in her home for a home meeting. And do you know why though? Carrie Williams, to me, honestly, like, she's the epitome of putting in action. She's not on social media. She is not, we don't get texts from her, right? That girl just hustles. She's all about relationship. She's no nonsense. And her belief is so strong. Her posture is just, dude, you either get it or you don't. Look, I've got something you should really take a look at. Well, if you don't want to see it, that's fine. Adios. Like, that's how she rolls. And look what it's done for her, right? Look at the consistency that she had with Brett Brimhall, continuing. And then she didn't ask him to go meet Dr. Sean Talbot in Sioux Falls. She told him, you're going to cancel your appointments and you're going to go to Sioux Falls with me and you're going to meet Dr. Talbot. Like, she told him. When the Pose got in, she told them, you are going to the first event. And look how it changed their life. Do you think any of those people are looking back and holding a grudge because Carrie Williams forced them to go to an event? No. We have to have that posture and belief with people that if they told us they want to change their life, then this is what you've got to do. People need to be directed, and sometimes it takes us being the one that gives them that tough love. So I think that is what, has anyone on here made their vision board yet or written down their goals for the year? Concrete. Okay, I love the honesty, but it's not too late. Please make sure, like, give yourself a deadline, right? By next Sunday, you will have written down your goals. And write them down for January through April. By the end of April, where do you want to be? What do you want to have? How many new team members do you want to have in your business? What rank do you want to have achieved? How much do you want to be making per month? Write it down, you guys. Don't be afraid of that. If you don't know what you want, then why are you working? What are you working for? You're going to have a different kind of action if you don't know what you want versus the kind of action you're going to have if you know exactly what you want. Doesn't that make sense? Makes perfect sense. Okay. Make sure I don't have anything else. That's what I had. Anybody have any questions? No? Chris, I'm muting. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Joyce and Todd, even though I didn't see your faces, I love seeing your name on here. Love, love, love it. All right. Thanks for coming.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
Yes.
Going back to the no free shipping on the Activated Essentials, is the company going to let the customers know? Are they going to put like a little flyer thingy in their boxes or anything like that? And do you know when that's going to take effect? 2 questions.
It takes effect in February.
Oh, right away. Okay.
Right away. Yeah, and that's, again, why they're doing the Vitality Stack at $120 this month, in hopes, I guess, that people will fall in love with the Omega and then want to change their order with that. So, right. And just make sure, like, I know it's not a comfortable thing, but you really have to be aware that when you call your customers and you're telling them this, don't have the tone of, I'm so sorry. We just really have to almost, like, as disappointed as you may be too, just kind of fake your way through it and be like, I've got some news for you. It's not that big a deal. It's just we're transitioning. We're going through growth, some changes. And because we have the Vitality Stack now with our new Omega product, we're offering the free shipping with the bigger product. And we're going to have to go back to, charging the shipping with the Essentials pack. I wanted to make sure that you were aware. Don't be like, is that okay with you? Just say, I just wanted to let you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What were you going to say, Chris?
Well, I thought that they compensated for the free shipping by lowering the PV on the Activated Essentials.
Yeah.
So their PV is not going back up.
Not that I'm aware of.
Interesting. I think it's a tough deal to fight Amazon for free shipping.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see how it goes.
I agree. But if, you know, and like Sean and Michelle said too, like the company's never offered as many sales as they have done lately. Apparently the free shipping wasn't a forever deal in the first place, which they just shouldn't have done it in the first place. And it's unfortunate that they did. And it's unfortunate that we have to break this news to people. But again, just really be aware of what you're going to say going into it. Don't try to like freehand it. Just, I would say, kind of role play it and practice it first, so that you can have a lot of posture as you go into it and give them a heads up. But make sure that you give your customers a heads up on that.
Is there still free shipping on the True Science?
Yes.
There's True Science in it? It's free. Okay.
Yep.
And then in March, we're heading to Twin Falls.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I don't have to be in charge anymore. I'm okay with that.
I gotta go check the banana.
Yeah, Nick and Jen, I
Tanya,
don't know if you heard
thank
that,
you.
but for Idaho people, beginning March,